Activision, Blizzard Entertainment. These two enterprises don't sound like they'd be a good fit, yet they are currently stuck together like glue, and it's getting pretty messy. Activision Blizzard has fallen so far from grace this year that I'm having a hard time believing it. I really am. For those who haven't tuned into the gaming news realm, Activision Blizzard is one of two large-scale companies that have had catastrophically bad years in 2018. In an incredibly short amount of time, the company has had both its reputation and financial welfare basically stripped away. A few of the notable bottom liners include earnings per share down over 10%, revenue year over year down 6.9%, and current trading price down over 40% from the yearly high. These are numbers not to be taken lightly, as even a plus or minus 1% in any of these categories is often more than a warning sign for any corporation. But it's not just the financials though. Activision Blizzard isn't looked upon warmly right now after a year of very strange decisions, repelling integrations inside their games and their general outlook on us, the community. It's a company getting mass downvoted on their current video offerings on this very website, even when some of those titles were critically anticipated. It's no surprise that the bulk of the problem lies within Activision. It actually breaks my heart as someone who grew up playing a lot of Activision and Blizzard games like Tony Hawk, COD 4, and pretty much anything Blizzard ever made. I spent my childhood fighting Zeratul in the Zerg, my teen years slaying Diablo, and my high school days raiding Molten Core. If there was ever a Blizzard and Activision fan, it was most certainly me. I always felt like Blizzard was a company of gamers making games for gamers, and that's pretty evident when you look back at history. Prior to the Activision merger, they put out games only when they were ready, and they rarely had any microtransactions or anti-consumer systems inside them. There wasn't any in-game stores that sold $25 mounts in World of Warcraft before Activision came into the picture. Pre-order bonuses were huge deals and full of interesting stuff, not the crap we get today. And the often delayed or canceled games like the infamous StarCraft Ghosts entirely, simply because they weren't sure if it would be loved by the community or not. That's dedication to the industry. But then Activision came around in 2008. Take some of those same franchises and look what's happened to them since the merger with Activision. One only has to look back at Diablo 3's real money auction house and the changing art design, or the rehauling and commercialization of World of Warcraft with Cataclysm and its future expansions. Since merging, many question the strange path this single company is now walking on, one that now prioritizes chasing fashionable wealth avenues like mobile games and mass consumer tastes more than delivering the game that they wanted to make. Though they've put out some high-quality games like Overwatch, it just doesn't feel the same sometimes. The problem is their priorities of making games have changed. Today, it's all about making money for Activision Blizzard, not making the best game possible. How do I know that? Well, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Blizzard and Activision were two different companies that merged in 2008, and I want to stress that it was a merger, not an acquisition. Activision did not buy out Vivendi, which is the mother company to Sierra and Blizzard. It was a partnership to consolidate their financials so that they flow through one roof. The problem is, those two companies don't seem to play well together. Blizzard has always been known as a company that serves the industry, while Activision primarily as a publisher that uses games as a means for generating profitability to serve itself. Put them together and one will start to influence the ethos, the culture, the mission of the other. Why they merged in the first place was to pool their resources, assets, and lines of business together so that the company would be more lucrative than they would be on their own. They could support each other financially and creatively to make games better. That was the hope. But somewhere along the lines, it's gone from a system of joint partnership to one of transformation. This November, Blizzard employees began to speak out about it anonymously, this issue. At first, rumors and whispers, yet they grew to full-scale reports that Activision was using its authority and power to influence the combined company negatively and cancel creative projects not seen to be profitable, especially with the Diablo team. Several employees stated that Activision was asking teams to cut costs ferociously, which could impact the quality of their games. To quote, spend less money at every corner and to have something ready sooner to show shareholders. And, you guys are gonna love this one, to get shit moving, end quote. This is a problem. These are words commonly used in large-scale corporations and enterprises focused on profitability and don't settle well with a developer-driven company like Blizzard that cares primarily about how consumers enjoy their titles. No longer is Blizzard allowed to be the same company it was 15 years ago. Today, it's Activision Blizzard. It's one company that holds two conflicting enterprises with different values within it, forced to work together under the leadership of people with different motives and incentives. It's not a good combination. It has created an organization that is at odds with itself. and this seems to be the reason for the shifting tides at the company. It's why so many people now resent the company, why so many employees have left, and why its financial benchmarks and trading price have dropped so heavily today. And that is because people have noticed this and lost faith in the corporation. Several key events in 2018 have made this abundantly clear. Number 1, Diablo Immortal being prioritized over the announcement of Diablo 4 and using a platform that nobody asked for, most certainly to reel in as much cash as they possibly could because, well, everyone owns a phone. Number 2, many of Blizzard's best developers being plucked away from major games and put to work on mobile projects. Number 3, the release of Battle for Azeroth, which is seen as one, if not the worst expansion for World of Warcraft. Number 4, the leak that a World of Warcraft mobile version is in the works, similar to a Pokemon Go. Number 5, the announcement that Heroes of the Storm will no longer receive esports support, which completely screws over many pro players. Number 6, the sneaking of microtransactions into Call of Duty Black Ops 4, a few weeks after people already bought it and reviews were posted. Most likely for the sole reason to quell the ridiculously unnecessary grind of progression that should not have been there in the first place to again get some more money. Number 7, the never-ending calamities with Destiny 2, including over-monetization and in-game integrations that screw over their fanbase. And number 8, speaking of unnecessary monetization, this cute fox mount for $25. For damn near half the price of a new AAA game, you can get yourself this snazzy new mount. $25. Individually, these stories wouldn't amount to that much on their own, but taken collectively, and the picture becomes clear. You get this snaky feeling that Activision Blizzard is going down a road that gamers aren't even on. One that, again, conflicts with the very people that play their games, give them money, and support them in the process. Now that the smoke is cleared, much like EA and Bethesda, at year's end, Activision Blizzard is seen as one of the big companies that fell down hard and is having trouble getting back up. Industry morale and stock price for the company is dangerously low. This is a company being steered primarily by Activision, and that's, combined with everything that has happened this year, creates a lot of worries for me. But hey, they have paid the price for it. With so much ill will building up around them and their bottom lines in danger of spiraling out of control, their future is actually pretty uncertain. They're gonna have to do a lot to turn that ship around, and with the power of speaking with our wallets and informing our fellow gamers, we've shown them this year that the only way up is to shape up. I'm pretty disappointed in Activision Blizzard this year. You know, at every step of the way, problems have surfaced. Destiny 2 this, Iron Banner emote, Diablo Immortal, Call of Duty microtransactions, World of Warcraft this, mobile this. It seems never ending at this point, and it sucks because I really love Blizzard. I'm not sure though that I like Activision Blizzard, because when you take two companies that have such different ways of making games and such different cultures and values and morals and ethos, and you bring them together and you force them to make one video game, it just doesn't work because the priorities are different from different people and different levels of the organization. There's usually someone in the organization that has the ability, the CEO, to piece these units together, to make them work together. And at this enterprise, I don't think that they have the right person there to do that. This company needs some harmony because at this point, the priority seems to be to ditch everything that the developer-friendly Blizzard side stands for in favor of just kind of this publishing mentality, just pumping out games, mass marketing, mass appeal, mass accessibility, mobile, all this stuff. And that really sucks for people like me that wants Blizzard games to be spearheaded solely by the passion of people at Blizzard. But as we all know, some of those employees are now long gone, so what the future holds for this company is really uncertain. But the one thing that is for sure though, is that 2018 is the year that our industry has come together to say no. The way you're running your company right now is just not going to fly for us, and if you want to have success in 2019, you got to change your ways. And that does bring me some hope. Thanks for watching my video today, guys. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and thumbs it up and subscribe here for more of our future content. You guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you guys very soon. Take care.